Hello, welcome to Paul's Take. And Joe Rogan said today that he is leaving Los Angeles, California, and moving to Texas.
I'm going to go to Texas. I just want to go somewhere in the center of the country, somewhere it's easier to travel to both places, and somewhere where you have a little bit more freedom. Also, I think that where we live right here in Los Angeles is overcrowded. And I think most of the time that's not a problem. But I think it's exposing the fact that it's a real issue when you look at the number of people that are catching COVID because of this overpopulation issue. When you look at the traffic, when you look at the economic despair, when you look at the homelessness problem that's accelerated radically over the last 6, 7, 10 years, I think there's too many people here. I think it's not tenable. I don't think it's manageable. And I think every mayor does a shit job of doing it because I don't think anybody could do a great job of it. I think there's like certain things you're going to have to deal with when you have a population of whatever the fuck LA is. It's like 20 million plus people.
I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I graduated from Venice High School, went to Santa Monica College, and I was around the Marina del Rey, Venice, Santa Monica area all my life until I was about 30 years old. So I've been here in North Carolina ever since. He wants to go to Texas. I felt like North Carolina was a little more similar to California in regards to the beaches and the mountains and the temperature. And Joe Rogan's, his main reason for leaving was because he feels it's overcrowded and there's too much homeless people and all kinds of stuff. Well, anyways, let's go for a little drive. I'll show you the area and I'll tell you why I won't go back. Okay, the first stop we're going to do is we're going to go to the airport. And we get a comparison. If you're familiar with Los Angeles, you're familiar with LAX, and now you can compare LAX to RDU, the Raleigh-Durham International Airport. So we're not far from there now, but I figured we could discuss other things while we're on our way. Like all the great things there are in California and Los Angeles. Because I mean, California and Los Angeles, there is definitely an appeal to it. That's why it's way overcrowded. First of all, the most important thing, well, let's see here. Yeah, I would say number one reason to live in California is the weather. The weather is amazing in California. It's almost unreal. I've been all over the United States, been to Hawaii, been to Puerto Rico. There is no place I've ever been to that has weather like California, like Los Angeles. It is by far the best weather there is, especially if you're living on the coast, right there off the beach somewhere. It definitely gets hotter as you go in and colder in the winter, but if you live within a few miles from the ocean, the temperature always stays beautiful. And in North Carolina, it doesn't compare. It does not compare with the weather. We do have sun, like today's a nice sunny day. Today was really hot for North Carolina. It was, I think the high today was 97 degrees, which is, like I said, pretty high for the area, even in the summer. But what gets us here, because it gets 90, 95 in California, yeah, especially if you go inland a little bit, the humidity. We have humidity here. And that definitely makes a big difference. Okay, number 2 reasons why I love California, the things I miss the most. This might be a little sarcastic, but I gotta admit, when I think back about California, I'm always missing the food. The Mexican food in California is great, it's different, it's everywhere. It doesn't really matter where you go. You might have a particular favorite. Okay, so by the way, we're now approaching the airport. This is the road. To give you some reference, right now it is exactly 7:15 and today is Monday. So if you could have ever been to LAX, I think the only time it's this quiet is during a Holocaust. I mean, not a Holocaust, during a, I don't know, it's never this quiet. Okay, so now we're approaching, there's only 2 terminals here, Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. Terminal 2 is much bigger. Terminal 1 only houses, what's it called? Terminal 1, Southwest. Okay, anyhow, where was I? Oh yes, food. So, well, I get go back to the airport real quick. I just forgot we're doing a whole Corona thing going on right now. So this is actually light for even here. This is really light. Granted, normally there's never a delay. Like I normally can just drive right through with no problem. But there normally would be cars on the road. This is completely dead because we are dealing with the coronavirus right now. So I forgot about that. I apologize, but this is the airport. It's usually busier, but it's never delayed. There's never enough traffic where it'll stop you. Let's go back to food. Food. The Mexican food is so good. Paco's Tacos, #1 place. Have you ever been there? On Centinela and Washington Place. The best. Tito's Tacos on, what was that? That is, we got off for so long. Washington Place and, the other one's Washington Boulevard. Yeah, that's right. Washington Boulevard, Centinela. It's all Centinela at Washington Boulevard. The other one, Tito's Tacos, is on Washington Place and Sepulveda. If you're ever in California, you got to get those two. They're iconic and they're really good. Paco's is the best though. But nonetheless, there's Mexican food everywhere. So we just passed Terminal 1. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. There's a tower in front of us. And we'll Terminal 2. We'll do the drop-off section because it's a little nicer. There's only two. There's a double deck. You can either go up to drop off for departure, and returns is down below. This is actually a new terminal, so it's all modern and nice. It's cool. It's nice. It's a tiny little drop in the bucket compared to the size of the one in LAX, but it's cool. They got food in there, everything you need. No wait. This is ridiculously light. But anyways, where were we? Food. So California's got the best food by far. Oh, best Mexican food in the United States. No matter where you go, like there's all good. Like you go to one place, you go to another place, small place, a big place, it's all great, right? You go out here, yeah, they have Mexican food. It's not even hard to find. There's Mexican food everywhere. Not like California everywhere, but you're not going to go too far without finding Mexican food. But the Mexican food on the East Coast is definitely different than the Mexican food on the West Coast. It's over here. It's like a cream-based stuff. Like you try to get a wet burrito in North Carolina, it's totally different. They use like some kind of creamy cheese sauce or something. It's not like that gravy meat sauce that they have over in California. Getting hungry thinking about it. Okay, so besides the food and the weather, there is always that, when you're living in Los Angeles, I'm not gonna lie, okay? When you're living in LA, so where am I? Let's go this way. I'm gonna show you a shopping center, just so you know how the shopping centers kind of look in the parking situation. Okay, so where was I? California and, oh yeah, so here's, when you're in California, Los Angeles especially, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, there's always that excitement of meeting a celebrity. Yeah, I'm an old man, but it's still cool to see a celebrity, you know, and when you were born and raised and you live out there, you will see celebrities, and that's always pretty cool. And there's always that little chance, the little hope, the sparkle, maybe the magic that one day when you're walking down the beach, you're at the store or supermarket, Steven Spielberg will be shopping or walk by you and say, hey you, I think you would be great for my next movie. Have you ever done any acting or modeling? And you'd be like, well, I don't know, I never have. Well, this doesn't matter. You have the look. You have the essence. I'm going to make you a star. So you always have that little bit of hope and excitement in California. And people there, I think because they're so used to it, in a sense, they're not used to it. But I think everybody, even if they don't admit to it, I think most people there wouldn't mind being discovered. So people there, I feel, are more charismatic, have more personality, more character than people out here. And don't get me wrong, People out here are fine. They're cool. They're nice. They're real. They're real. California, you almost feel like people are putting on a little bit of a show. Where people here, they might be phony in other ways, but they're pretty much, they're not being like charismatic or like, they're just more real, I would say. Not to say that the people here are nicer as a whole, but their personalities are more calm, not so flamboyant. But I do believe that California people are really nice, though. Because, I mean, I'm from California. I'm a nice guy. But a lot of people, it seems like to me, people from California are generally pretty cool. Maybe even a little more laid back. Yeah, that would be true. They are more laid back, for sure. Then, for the most part, and people from North Carolina, they're a little more serious. Not to a point where it's ridiculous, but you know, when you're living on the beach of Venice Beach or something, not literally on the beach, but you're going to the beach, you have this kind of beach boy, laid back personality. You still might be highly stressed, but you still have that essence, that aura or something. Okay, so those are positives. Is there any other positives? I don't know. There probably is, I'm sure. Okay, and it's very diverse. So I like that as well. Now, what's so great about? So what's bad about California? Because what is bad? And to tell you the truth, when I left LA, I didn't leave on my own choice per se. My wife is from the East Coast, and she begged me to try it out. And I did not want to come, because when you're from LA and you're born there, it's obviously that Los Angeles is the center of the universe, and everywhere else just wants to be LA. Obviously, why wouldn't they? But so I came out. She said, "Well, let's go on vacation. We won't move over there. We'll just go on vacation. Let's check it out. We'll look at some houses. We'll see what's up over there, what they got going on, what do they have for entertainment, that kind of things." So I decided, okay, fine, that's fair enough. I've never been to the East Coast. Let's go take a look. And I have to admit, I was pretty shocked on what you can buy in real estate compared to the astronomical prices of houses in Los Angeles. It is absurd how expensive things are in California versus coming out someplace like here. I would say probably most of the country is more similar to this. Of course, you got your expensive parts, but it's very, very reasonable for your average Joe person with your average Joe decent job. I'm not talking about working at Walmart, but you know, if you have a normal decent job, you can buy a house out here. You can buy a house pretty easily somewhere. You might not want to get the house that you really want, but like for, let's say, I'm not even kind of in tune with the prices in California, but for here, for like say $350,000. Now when I came out here, we bought a house for $160,000, and it was a two-story, 3-bedroom, had a loft, 2.5 bathrooms, on a nice big property. It was a subdivision, but the lots were big. The house wasn't overly fancy, but it was huge for $160,000. I was shocked. And this was like 13 years ago or something. So, but the prices have gone up, though. I'm not going to lie. They have gone up, but they gone up pretty high. That house there, probably, we actually just recently moved. So that one, we sold it for, I forgot. What did we sell it for? $260? Yeah, $260. So even then, we bought a new house for like $330. The house we have now is unbelievable. I mean, it's, for me, being from California, being from Los Angeles, the house to me is amazing. It's a house where I would, as a kid, of course, I was very poor. I'm not lying. We had a bunch of us in a 1-bedroom apartment in a poor neighborhood. It was even nice. Oh, anyways, we're in a shopping center right now. It is a Monday, and it is 7:28 now. But you can have all your shops that you want, and it's dead. Just, of course, like I said, there's COVID-19 stuff going on, but nonetheless, you will find parking anytime you want. Yeah, during the holidays, it gets a little busier, but you can still find parking. I was in Los Angeles. No, I was in Long Beach once, in this nice Long Beach. I forgot the name of the shopping center. It's been a while. And the shopping center parking lot was so full, so crowded, that after doing our shopping, and we got back to the car, and we're like, we lived literally 4 minutes away. So we were trying to like meet up with somebody. We're like, oh, we're leaving. We'll meet you at the house. 4 minutes away. It took us, I'm not lying, 40 minutes. 40 minutes, but listen to this. Not to get home. To get out of the parking lot. And it was very similar to the shopping center we just drove through. Outdoor shopping center, movie theater. This one had a movie theater, shopping center, all that stuff. Very similar. This one actually is bigger. 40 minutes just to pull out of the parking lot because there was so many people. It's during the holidays, but anyways. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so houses. So anyhow, the house where I'm now, there's actually, it has a pool in a subdivision. It has a lake in the subdivision. So it's great. I'm not lying. This is something I would not have imagined as a kid that I could ever afford. This house is $1 million house, easily, in any decent neighborhood in California. Easily $1 million house. It's nice. And we spent $334. Okay, so the real estate. But it actually, so after being here for a little while, and at first, I'm not going to say I fell in love with the area. Oh my God, I fell in love with it in heaven. Because it wasn't, I didn't really bond right away. But the more I'm here, the more I love it. And to a point where I don't even like to visit LA anymore. I went there just like, let's see here, maybe 8 months ago. Go visit the family. The traffic's always bad. Traffic is terrible. The parking is terrible. It's just a hassle to do. There's so much homeless people in Los Angeles right now. There's always homeless people in Los Angeles. That's for sure. It has always been a lot more than even close to what it is out here. But now, it's straight up a third world country. It's pathetic. The houses are so expensive, and I don't know what it is, but there is homeless people everywhere. It's a bummer. And it's like, you feel bad that they're there. You feel bad at the state, like whatever system is going on out there is not working. It's not working in Los Angeles because there shouldn't be that many homeless people in one city by itself. The city has failed. You can't have a well-run city and have homeless people everywhere. That's just a failure. If you're in a leadership position in Los Angeles and you can't figure out something to do, the system has failed. And I guess that's probably why they're looking for so much change out there, because it's definitely failed. For sure. Out here, there's not that many people. There's still, within the Raleigh-Durham area, there's still over 1 million people here. You never really know it because it's all spread out, but this place is growing like crazy. So if you're watching this video, don't come here. go follow Joe Rogan in Texas. There's a lot more room in Texas. You're not going to screw up this area. This area is so... They say they have crime. They say they have gangbangers, I guess. You don't see it. You don't see it, ever. You don't see graffiti, ever. If you see graffiti out here, it blows your mind. Like, oh my God, there's graffiti. In California, you go down any alley, any bus stop, there's graffiti everywhere. LA is broken. I can't really talk about like San Francisco, even though they're apparently seem like they're falling apart too. But they failed. So anyways, I don't really even like going back to California. I will. I mean, I have to. I got family out there. But and the last time I was there, I still say one of the most beautiful places on this earth is on a nice day after it rained or something, where it's clear and it's like standing on the Santa Monica Pier, looking at the Malibu Mountains. It is breathtaking. And I used to even work on a pier, and you just never really get used to it. Gorgeous. All right, so what have you learned? I don't like going back. It's so involving. Like, if you go, like, say if you're coming here, you go to the airport, it's no big deal. You go to the airport, you park your car, you take your little train, there's no delays, easy to find parking. You go to LAX, it's a drag, man. It's such a pain in the butt to get to your rental car, to get your hotel, to get picked up by your friend or something. It's just a pain. There's just too many people in LA. Too many, and the system is broken. I'll pass. I'm not going back. I'd say I would never go back, but I don't want to go back. The only way I would go back to California, to move, the only way I would move to California is if, or when, I get this huge contract to make a movie or something, or some kind of job that takes me to LA, that gives me so much sick money that it makes it worth my while. But I wouldn't stay there. I would stay, do the job, and come back here. Or maybe somewhere else. I've been here. I mean, I'm not opposed to trying someplace else out. Yeah, one thing nice about being on the East Coast is you can drive around different areas. Like, you could drive all up the East Coast, all down the East Coast, go to Florida, and see different areas of the country. Where if you're in Southern California, you can go to San Diego, you can go to Vegas, and granted, the landscape will change. You go to mountains, you go to the beach, you go to the desert. But in a lot part of it, I mean, it's still very similar people, similar vibe. Where here, you could go different areas and have a different feel. So, another big thing about one versus the other is we do have hurricanes here. They don't have hurricanes in California. They do have earthquakes in California, which I've been through the Northridge earthquake, which is pretty darn big. And it's very, very scary. Hurricanes are scary too, though. I was a tropical storm on the beach, literally on the beach. And I was hoping it would be a hurricane before I got there. But after I got there, felt the tropical storm, I was like, no thanks. It was enough. It scared the crap out of me. All right. Well, I think I covered most of the bases. Why I wouldn't go back. Mainly because it's too crowded, too broken, in regards to like dealing with homeless people and affordable housing. Yeah, it was really depressing. I went back there for a little bit, and the amount of money I spent on a one-bedroom apartment was more than I was spending on my house. And you just don't have to live that way. It's actually funny, and that's kind of a funny thing, or kind of a ironic thing, is that when you're in California, you're used to a certain type of living, a lifestyle. And you think it's kind of how it is. But you don't have to live that way. With just a basic job, I'm a bus driver, supervisor now. I don't have a fancy job. And I'm living a lifestyle that I could never have done so in California. There's no way I would have a nice house by a lake, and then just overall, just the quality of life. Couldn't do it. And you could do it out here, and you could do it other places in the country, and there's no need for it. All right. Well, anyways, I think I went a little long, but thanks for watching Paul's Take, and that's my take on why I would not go back, and why Joe Rogan, he said he's not going back, or he's leaving because there's just too many people, basically. All right, now I'll do a clip. Thanks for watching Paul's Take.